Welcome everybody to Forza Motorsport 6, and today we're dealing with the 1970 Buick GSX. So yeah, you might be wondering why I'm reviewing this quite old muscle car. Well, quite frankly, I've missed it, quite frankly, because it wasn't on Forza Motorsport 5 and I enjoyed the hell out of it on Forza Motorsport 4. So I'm glad to see it's back, and since it's full Forza Vista car, so we can look all over the car, I thought it deserves a review. So yeah, I'm going to compare this against the 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle SS 454. And yeah, see which one's the best. So yeah, let's firstly take a look under the hood, see what this car's packing. So yeah, it's got a 7.5 litre V8 engine, packing 360 horsepower and a very large 510 pounds-feet of torque, which is quite a hell of a lot. Now the Chevy kind of trumps this on terms of power. It's got 90 horsepower more, but it does have 10 pounds-feet of torque less. They both have the same size engine though, by the way. So yeah, this car does have more torque but less power. The Chevy also trumps this in terms of weight, because this weighs 3,874 pounds. The Chevy weighs 75 pounds less. So this weighs more and has less power but slightly more torque. But that's primarily down to the fact that this is more of a luxury muscle car than a basic car with a big engine and not much else. So yeah, it's longer than the Chevy by 5 inches, 1 inch smaller in terms of height though. That's because it does have a lower ride height, because its suspension is far better, which is something we'll get onto when we get on the track. But yeah, it's far more luxurious inside, chrome and wood centre console, nice dash, sports steering wheel, and plenty of leather, and also space in the back for anyone else, which also the Chevy has, but being a smaller car, it's not as big inside. So yeah, it's also a car I think that looks better than the Chevy, not just in terms of the stripes and the paintwork and etc., but I just prefer the whole look of it. I think the chrome's used to a better effect. Like I said, I like the paintwork as well. The spoiler is good on it as well, which the Chevy does not have, though whether or not it works as well on this I don't know. Plus I also like the fact that the rev counter is on the outside on the hood. Kind of makes it look like an afterthought, but I think it gives that kind of tone to it. And the Pontiac GTO, the Judge, also had its rev counter out on the outside as well, so it's not an uncommon thing among cars back in the late 60s, early 70s, and yeah, this is no different. But yeah, to really get into the details with between these two cars, you have to take these out onto the track, and that's exactly what we're going to do with this. So yeah, see you when we get there. Right, we're at Road America West route. We're going to take it round on the first lap and talk through it on the second lap. So yeah, the Chevy doesn't only just trump this in terms of weight and horsepower, it also trumps it in terms of acceleration. this car does 0 to 60 in 6.5 seconds and 0 to 113.5 seconds. The Chevy will do 0 to 60 in 6.1, but its 0 to 100 time is exactly the same. But considering the fact that it has 90 horsepower more, oopsie daisy, that's one of the problems with these cars that I'll get to in a bit. Despite the fact that Chevy has 90 horsepower more and weighs less as well, you'd expect it to have a much bigger margin of 0 to 60 times between the two, and it just doesn't, and its 0 to 100 time is exactly the same as well, so yeah, its power isn't really put all to that much use. But it does also have a lower top speed than this. This does 144 mile an hour, that does 133. And that's all despite the fact that that has a 4-speed manual gearbox and this has a 3-speed automatic. So yeah, it has a better gearbox and better 0 to 60 time, but this has higher top speed and exactly the same 0 to 100 time. And for something that weighs more and is more luxurious, I think this kind of has a better compromise. But both of these cars have a problem, and yeah, braking is one of them. Handling wise, this is marginally better than the Chevy, but not by much. It only really comes down to the fact that the suspension isn't as wallowy and it doesn't have as high a ride height, but the braking is pretty woeful, as you've seen, because this car didn't really like to stop. And when you have 360 horsepower and nearly 4,000 pounds in weight, it is quite hard to stop the car, especially on a more handling circuit like this. So yeah, in conclusion, I prefer the Buick overall, just in terms of looks, overall handling wise, and top speed. It just kind of just makes up for the fact that it doesn't have a slightly lower in terms of 0 to 60 time. I just find it a more enjoyable car to drive, a more enjoyable car to look at, and a more enjoyable car to just be around. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.